Donald Trump looks like death as the 25th Amendment calls are continuing to grow. Democratic lawmakers even more loudly are saying the 25th Amendment or something needs to be done because this thing in the Oval Office is rapidly deteriorating cognitively and physically before our eyes while he talks about nuclear materials and world wars. He can't even function. He can't put sentences together. I'm not going to show you the whole White House Correspondents' Dinner. We did a very extensive job covering that. But when he was delivering that speech and he would do these weird sounds during his speech, he'd be like saying, and so the guy, he was old and he was walking up the stairs. And he would like make these weird laugh noises. It was very bizarre. Here, let's play this clip.
From his wife. And she said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what?
Just so you could just see it again here, let me just show you this clip right here.
From his wife. And she said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what?
I'll get to more of this in a moment as well, but I want to share with you right now Democratic Congresswoman Ansari. I spoke with her and I said, this is a national security issue. This isn't a joke. This isn't something that I mock him for, although I know some people do, and if you do, you do. It's just, this is deadly serious because this person has the nuclear codes and he's out there one day saying, we're opening the gates of hell and we're going to obliterate bridges and nuclear power plants in Iran and threatening the most heinous and heinous of war crimes. By the way, he's already engaged in it. And then he does fake imaginary negotiations and says, oh, we're so close to making a deal. Everything's going to be incredible. Democratic Congresswoman Ansari is not just a rising star in the Democratic Party. She's out there demanding that Barron Trump be subpoenaed. She's out there every day calling out Donald Trump's health, and she doesn't mince words. Here's what she told me. Let's play this clip.
I've been concerned for a long time about this, and I'm really not saying it lightly. I think there have been a couple of moments that I have found the most alarming as it pertains to Donald Trump's cognitive decline. I think we've seen it very clearly with how he's handled his illegal war in Iran. And look at the way he has the type of language that he's used, right? Like on April 7th, after 6 weeks of bombing Iran and escalation in the Middle East, he threatened to end the civilization that night. And we have seen very apocalyptic language from him ever since then as well, when negotiations aren't going his way. And that is coupled with somebody who's spending hours every single night posting sometimes dozens of posts on Truth Social. He's seems to be creating a lot of AI images of himself and his family. There's been so many I can't even keep track of. He's doing this at 3, 4 a.m. Then during the day, he'll fall asleep in meetings. And I mean, how many photos of him and videos of him have we now seen where there's senior cabinet officials behind him and he's dozing off? I mean, this is a national security risk. This is the guy with the nuclear codes. This is the guy, talking to foreign leaders and charged with keeping Americans safe. I don't feel safe with this kind of leader at the helm of the country right now. I don't know how you could feel safe. So it's incredibly dangerous. And that's why I was one of the first, I believe, to call for the 25th Amendment, and recognizing that's a long shot with the kind of cabinet that we have. But the 25th Amendment was created for a time like this that we could never have conceived of.
Heck, if you want to even know, like, the privilege that Trump and these MAGAs have, the benefit of the every doubt that this guy gets. I mean, you have Bill O'Reilly, who's got his own issues, I might add, but Bill O'Reilly is out there saying, look, Donald, you need to take a month off. I see you hunching, you're 80, you don't look that good. You need to take a month off right now and you need to just rest. This is the president of the United States. So if you're incapable of doing your job, that's why Donald Trump doesn't need to resign. I mean, it's more than the 25th Amendment. I mean, if this is someone, though, who's clearly incapacitated before our eyes. Here's what Bill O'Reilly had to say. Here, play this clip right here.
And he's 80 years old right now. Okay, so that puts him, if I can do the math quickly, 45, maybe early 40s when I met him in New York City. Now, I've noticed that he is hunching over a little bit, and that's normal. You get older, every malady in the world is going to visit you. I can't even bore you with the stuff I got to deal with. And I was actually feeling sorry for myself the other day. I never do that. But I mean, how? This and that, a blood test, that. But I noticed the president was a little. So my advice to Donald Trump is to take the next month off if you can. Get into an environment where you like golf and relax a little bit. You got to deal with Iran. I understand that. Everybody understands it. But you can do that on the phone, and you can do that with your people coming, but need a breather. I need a breather, and I'm going to build it into August, but he needs a breather much more than I do. Okay, so we wish the best for not only President Trump, but all the presidents, even Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Jimmy Carter, always respected the office. I did, always. If you read Confronting the Presidents, you know that.
Now, when Donald Trump was giving this bizarre speech, I mean, he was saying, how he opened up the speech, he said to the press, "Some of you are lucky the last dinner got cut short. I brought something with me. I was going to go after you. Your lives were put in danger for a different reason, but on the plus side, your careers were saved." What the hell is he talking about here? Here, play this clip.
Some of you are lucky that our last dinner was cut short because I had brought with me what would possibly have been, I'm telling you, I had something. I was going to go after you. I feel so badly doing this. It's got to be such a letdown. Oh, yay. But your lives were really in danger the last time for an opposite reason. But on the plus side, your careers were saved, and we have we really do. We have a complete and total. You know, I love the words complete and total. They say, but it means almost the same thing. I said, it doesn't matter when you say it. It's called emphasis. It's called emphasis. But everyone is now really warming up. The new White House Military Center, drone port, highly protected ballroom.
And then earlier in the day, he was saying that he likes Michael Jordan better than LeBron James because he says LeBron James is a racist, he says. Here, play this clip.
Ever. Well, Michael Jordan's a guy that's a friend of mine. Play golf with him. He's a really good guy. And I think LeBron is, maybe he's a racist, but maybe he doesn't like Trump. I don't know. But I only like people that like me. So I would say Michael Jordan all the way.
And then Donald Trump talking about nuclear material. And this is like deeply serious stuff. I mean, he's asked a question about the Saudi nuclear deal. We're talking about nuclear enrichment, okay? So Trump is asked by the press, hey, earlier this week, you announced you were going to allow Saudi Arabia to have a civilian nuclear program. You were giving them this nuclear deal. There were some people who were worried that that material can become nuclear, can become weapons grade material. But then a day after your Department of Energy and you announced you were doing the deal, you said Saudi Arabia has to join the Abraham Accords and become allies with Israel, which Saudi Arabia is never going to agree to do unless Palestine is recognized and the genocide in Gaza ends. And then you said that you're not going to allow them to enrich the uranium. What were you talking about? And you'll hear Donald Trump give the most incoherent response imaginable. Saudi Arabia is not joining the Abraham Accords, number one. Also, the way civilian nuclear programs work, except for a very small subset of nuclear power like in Canada, but by and large, overwhelmingly, Nuclear power plants rely on enriched uranium. The issue between weapons grade and civilian grade, non-weapons grade, is the percentage of uranium enrichment. Is it weapons grade or is it not? And so the fact that Donald Trump doesn't even have the most basic understanding of the way nuclear enrichment works, and he's there, making these noises and talking about LeBron James being racist. We're talking about nuclear material here, folks, and that's why this is a national security threat. What, one day you just post on your social media, I'm giving Saudi Arabia nuclear material, and the next day you say, oh, well, actually, they got to do this. This is, could you imagine with Obama if someone was like, just take a month off? You seem to be hunching, and you don't know what you're doing. Here, this is what he said about the nuclear material in Saudi Arabia. Here, play this clip.
I want to ask about the Saudi nuclear deal. This man over your shoulder announces a big deal after 18 months of negotiating with the Saudis. Seems like it's all done, it's signed, and then you come out, throw some new conditions on top of it, the whole thing blows up. So did he get out ahead of you, or what happened there?
No, nobody got out ahead. I mean, I just say that in order to do it, they have to be a member of the Abraham Accords, which have been very successful. But it's time now that they do it. They and others didn't want to do it because of the problem that they had with Iran. You don't have that problem anymore. You don't have a great power there anymore. You have a problem, but the problem is disappearing day by day. They were the bully of the Middle East. They were not going to be that much of a bully anymore. They'll probably, I think, instinctively want to be. But you don't have the same problem that you would have had 4 or 5 months ago before they had no Navy, no military, no anti-aircraft, no leaders. I mean, their leaders are gone. A lot of things have changed with respect to that country. So, no, we want them to, it's a two-way street, and we think it's very important for the future of the Middle East. The Abraham Accords have been incredibly successful for the countries, as you know, for the countries in them. And I think it's very important. So, at some point they'll join and they'll do their civil, it's really, I call it civil nuclear, but that's what it is. No enrichment, it's civil nuclear.
Quick question.
And then the way his cabinet, though, babies him, like Doug Burgum was there in the Oval Office, and Doug Burgum was like, Donald Trump wisely understood that wind was unreliable as an energy source and that we need coal. What are you talking about? That wind is not unreliable? Wind, solar, all of these new forms of energy that China is on the cutting edge of, that's helpful, especially where you're going to have psychotic individuals like Trump start wars in Iran and engage all these war crimes so that the Strait of Hormuz and the Bab el-Mandab Strait is shut down. Here, let's play this clip.
President Trump has wisely understood that wind was unreliable, intermittent, dependent on the weather, only existed particularly offshore because of massive subsidies. So not only was it expensive to generate electricity on the grid, it was also expensive for taxpayers because of the subsidies. And so again, President Trump shifting the policy towards energy dominance, which is reliable, affordable, 7x24 energy that's not dependent on the weather. And so that includes nuclear, includes hydro, includes geothermal, includes oil and gas, includes beautiful coal. And again, China, 60% of their electricity is coming from coal. Coal was the #1 electric producer in the world 125 years ago, and it was for the last 125 years in a row, and it will be again this year. 126, quite a streak if you're an athletic team that they've won 126 years in a row. But President
But we
Trump,
were restricted from using it.
Yep.
Every coal mine was going to be closed down within the next year if we didn't win the election. And
Then Donald Trump is like, I know a lot about Venezuela and the people of Venezuela because I ran beauty pageants, and thus I saw the Venezuelan women who do quite well in my beauty pageants. Thus, I know Venezuela. What are you talking about? Here, play this clip.
I've known them for a long time. I've known that country, and I own the Miss Universe pageant. And Miss Venezuela always did very well in that pageant. So I know something about the country, but I've known it for a long time. They're great people. Say hello, okay?
And then as Donald Trump at these various press conferences gets more and more cognitively addled, he has his blonde aides like hustle the reporters out of the room. Play this clip.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for all the questions.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Fred.
You know, and in Iran, they're just mocking the hell out of him. And sadly, the United States also. Right, I mean, you have foreign ministers, like while Donald Trump's out there posting things like Trump orders CENTCOM, open the gates of hell after U.S. troops killed, launches strikes on Iran, open the gates of hell. You have Iran's foreign minister like in the center of Tehran doing paintings of nature. They're painting nature for a lot of reasons, but also I think to just mock the Trump regime and say, we're not scared. Okay, you're going to open up the gates of hell. The United States, you have this addled thing in the Oval Office who's deteriorating and can't function. I'm going to go and paint a tree. Here, just watch this. Here, play this clip. Then you had Donald Trump falling asleep at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Play this clip.
Going after Washington Post reporters in supposedly searching her office or computer.
He was puking on himself at the White House Correspondents'. Let's play it.
More than usual in the past few weeks. Is that a fair characterization? I think that is an eminently fair characterization. First of all, it's good to be with you, Chris.
And then he was dozing off, checking in on Trump right here. You can see for yourself. Here, let's play this clip.
I'm going big. There's a passport involved. David, keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. Keep your eyes closed. What was the place when I said spin it?
And then he says that I was pleased to announce I'm running for my fourth term. I'm running for my fourth term. What do you mean your fourth term? Even your fascist thing that you're trying to say would be the third term, but you're running for your fourth term. Got it. Your fourth term. Whoa. Here, play this clip.
Okay, but we are all doing good together. That's why tonight, to show just how much I care about the press, and I want to save your ratings, I'm pleased to announce my intention to, and this is somewhat of a scoop, my intention to run for a fourth term as President of the United States. I will be doing that. I will be having an official, in fact, I think I have, I won 3 times.
Anyways, well, I'll just show you the stupid joke at the beginning which was not funny, which he plagiarized, by the way. You walk up the stairs and then you say, honey, I can either get up the stairs or have sex. Ha 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 ha. Here, play it.
She said, when you get home, I want to have you immediately come up the stairs and make love to me. And he said, I can't do both. You know what the heck?
Anyway, there you have it. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 7 million subscribers. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hey, if you want the full story, how democracy got here and how we take it back, pre-order our new book, WTF America, today. Just scan the QR code or click the link in the description. Let's do this.